see Donald Trump is on the phone. He's, of course, probably promoting The Apprentice that year.
Yes, it should be rolling out its new season tonight.
Did MarthaStewart have her debut last night?
Last night, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. I heard they're not getting along, but I don't think Donald Trump would ever admit that.
No, he's going to take the high road, don't you think?
What's that noise?
That was my copier. Sorry, it's gone now.
Mr. Trump? Oops. Mr. Trump.
Good morning.
Look at you.
How are you?
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, Howard. I'm doing good. You're doing good. You're waiting for the big day, huh?
Oh, man, I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's time. It's going to be big.
Well, that's what they're all saying in the world of showbiz, right? You know, I'm in that world a little bit, and they're all saying it's going to be big, so I have no doubt.
For me, it's the future of broadcasting. I mean, I got to get out of here. I've had it. I mean, between the FCC, the religious right, taking away my radio stations, I can't function like this anymore, and quite frankly, I like the whole thing. I think it's a very worthwhile product.
You always want to say to Donald, what happened to the world that we have to leave broadcasting?
Well, that's right. That's right. Things have gotten out of hand. All right, listen, never mind me. Let's talk about you. Your appearance on the Emmys, A+.
Thank you, Howard.
That was good.
That was good.
Seeing you in a pair of overalls was startling to me.
Well, you know, they asked me to sing, and I said, you have to be kidding. About a month ago, you know, The Apprentice is nominated for Emmys all the time, and they said, would you come up and sing? And I said, what am I going to sing? They said, I don't know, we'll come up with a song. I said, you must be kidding me, right? This is like a month ago, the head of the Emmys. So I said, well, tell me what I'm going to sing. So they said, Green Acres. And I said, well, I don't think so. I think you have to be kidding. And then they kept calling, and I eventually said, look, I'll do it. Get me a nice band, because I've always heard you don't have to be much of a talent if you have a huge orchestra behind you, right? You know, that the really great ones, they can get up with a piano and do great. But most of these guys, you know, if you see a 400-piece orchestra behind, Robin, you just get up and move your mouth a little bit. Everyone says the music is so beautiful, right?
Right.
So I said, okay, look, get me a great orchestra. I'll do it. But that's it. So then I get there, and they say, you know, to really do it well, you should put on overalls. And I didn't even know what overalls were. So what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And they gave me a pair of things that they went up and bought at some farm area.
What do you mean you don't know what overalls?
Well, I never wore them. I never wore them with the suspenders over the top, right?
You know, it occurs to me, every time I've seen you in my entire life, you're always in a suit. Do you ever lay back and wear...
Do you ever wear a pair of jeans?
Yeah. Well, I wear jeans seldom, really seldom. I mean, I'm a very formal type person.
Yeah,
but I wear, obviously, I play golf and I play tennis and I play stuff like that. But generally, I like, you know, formality. And what happened here is, you know, they brought out these, I think they call them overalls or coveralls, and they brought these things out. And I said, you have to be kidding. And then they brought out a pitchfork and a hat. And I said, there's no way I'm going to do it. And then we rehearsed for a little while the day before with Megan Mullally. And they said, you've got to do it. And I said, well, let me take a look at it. And I put them on, and they didn't look that bad.
No, it just was odd to see you in a pair of overalls. I mean... He likes formality. I'm telling you, the guy's always in a suit and a. I mean, do you ever put on a pair of shorts ever?
Well, I'll do it on occasion.
Well, if he plays tennis,
but
I'm sure.
Not very much. Yeah, like if I play tennis.
Is your whole closet filled with suits?
It's mostly filled with suits, and they're usually the same color.
I mean,
I like dark suits. I just like it. You know, I grew up that way. I just grew up as formal. I like formal.
You
know, during
the
dot-com thing a number of years ago, guys would come up to my office. They'd be wearing shorts, and undershirts, right? Yeah. You know, this was like the cool thing.
Yeah.
And then when that went crashing, they gave up that look. You know, when everyone lost all their money, they gave up that look.
The whole dot-com look.
They had a dot-com look that was made up of really bad jeans and an undershirt.
Even Bill Gates had to give up that look.
Yeah, that was a bad look. That was a serious... In the new little bit of a .com, this is just peanut.com, I call it.
In other words, if you're going to invest money in something, you better come into your office with a goddamn suit on and let's look like we know what we're doing.
Well, at least like sort of semi-presentable. So when they gave me this, I said, all right, you know, then I put it on, and it sort of didn't look bad. I said, I hope I don't look fat. So I put it on, and it looked okay. And I went out, and the audience went nuts. And, you know, sort of crazy because when you look at the audience, you know, I've never sang before in a crowd. And this is pretty bad when you start in front of 40 million people before you even know what, you know, this is the first time. This is your audition, Robin, in front of a rather large crowd, right?
Right.
So I walk out. The first people I see are the Desperate Housewives. And then you look at those first 15 rows, and you know that you know everybody indirectly. You know from watching television or movies, everybody in those seats, everybody. Right. And I'm saying, I can't believe I'm doing this. As I'm walking out, I said, I can't believe. But it hit right, and the audience loved it. And then we won what they call the Emmy Idol. You know, we won against your friend William Shatner. William Shatner was a competitor.
Right.
And we went against him and some other people that were terrific, actually.
You brought up the name The Desperate Housewives. I don't know about you. I don't watch that show.
Right.
I'm sick to my stomach to see these women over and over again. Talk about a case of overexposure.
Right.
When you look at them, they seem desperate, don't they?
Well, I really like, I think
Who do you like?
Well, I'll tell you what. I like as a person TeriHatcher. She's so nice to me. I mean, every time I see her, she's just
like her.
So nice. I think she's really a nice person. But, I don't really get it. And,
are they really good looking? They're not good looking.
And Eva is really nice. Well, no,
Eva's not that good looking.
On your scale, you have a very high scale, okay?
Go ahead.
And on your scale, you wouldn't watch the show, okay?
No, I'm not going to watch.
You wouldn't watch the show
because I'm a man.
You know who's really changed? NicolletteSheridan.
Yeah, now
she used to be the skinny, really skinny person, and now she all of a sudden did a total body transformation. I wonder how.
Yeah, let me ask you something. On a scale of 1 to 10. Go through the Desperate Housewives. NicolletteSheridan is a 2, right?
Well, I would say she's in the 4 or 5 category.
Right. If you were a single man, back in the day, I'm talking about the way she looks now, you would not do her, would you?
No, I think,
You would not do her.
I like the way she used to look. I don't like the way she looks today.
So she's gone from a 10 to a 4?
No, I think she's a solid 4.
Oh my
okay,
goodness.
now
she was a 10.
What a drop off.
What about
she was an 8. She wasn't a 10.
Okay.
She was an 8, you think?
She went from
9.
She went from being very flat-chested. I view a person who's flat-chested is very hard to be a 10. Okay,
right.
I mean, it has to be extraordinary. You have to have the face of Vivian Lee to be a 10.
Exactly.
If you're flat-chested. Okay, but she went from an 8 to a solid 4.
Now, why do they carry on about the redhead on there, MarciaCross? She's a what? A 3?
Well, I hate to say it because I met all these people,
I know.
and they were so nice.
But
they were saying, we love your show, we watch The Apprentice all the time, and then I'm going to call her a 3?
Is she a 3?
No, I called them. You know what I'm going to do?
Call it like you see it. Is she
hey,
a 3?
Howard, I'm going to do this.
Go ahead.
They're all 10s. They're magnificent beauties.
Oh, stop it.
No, that's not your style.
Because I don't want to have
Hollywood.
I don't want to have an article. Every time I do your show, I get in trouble. They always have a headline that I said something.
You're a connoisseur of female pulchritude. You know whether or not a woman is good looking. You run the Miss USA and all that.
And the universe.
Now those, by the way, those are 10s.
Okay, so MarciaCross, is she a 3? Is she worse looking than NicolletteSheridan or better looking?
Well, I'm going to get in trouble because I know these. I know these people. Fortunately, not well.
Show business.
Fortunately, not well.
Who's better looking?
Okay, if your beautiful girl decided to leave you, she said, "Howard, I've met another man." You now go into a major depression.
That's right.
You'll lose about 40 pounds.
I'd be all right.
Okay, now you're starting to come out of the depression about 2 months later. You eventually have to come out.
Right.
Either do that or you just kill yourself.
I would jump right back into the swimming pool. Go ahead.
Would you go out as your first date, MarciaCross?
No.
Come on, just to start out.
No.
Would you go out with MarciaCross or would you turn gay, Howard?
I would go out with MarciaCross.
Okay.
So
would I.
She's got a good body. I just put a bag on her head.
Yeah, so anyway. But,
so tell me, is she a 4?
Well, I really got to. Here's the thing.
Is she a 4? Give her a number, please.
Yeah, well, she's in the category of, solid 4 to 5.
Okay, what about Terry? What is she now? Be honest.
Well, Terry, I only know Terry now.
Yeah.
Terry's very thin.
Too thin.
She's extremely thin. She's really nice. And, they're very good actresses.
Is she a 6?
Yeah, she's a 6.
Okay. Sure. And the
Let
Eva...
me keep track of this. Sheridan a 4, Cross a 4 to a 5, and Terry's a 6.
And the other one, the final one, EvaLongoria.
Well, she's really cute. I have to tell you, she's really bouncy, really cute. She's about 5'1". You like girls that are 5'1"? They come up to where?
I would do her.
You would?
I would do her, but
she's very nice. She's got beautiful skin.
I think she's hot.
Is she a 7?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, she is?
Sure she is.
A definite 7.
I mean,
all right,
she's very short. You have to get started. You have to like short girls. She's very, very short. She goes out with a basketball player, which is interesting, but she's very short.
Tell me about CarmenElectra now. Is she still a 10?
You see, I've never thought she was a 10.
Really?
Okay, in her heyday, I've never thought she was a 10. And I think Carmen is somebody who has unbelievable photogenic abilities. She really looks unbelievable in a picture. And then when you see her, first of all, she's unbelievably short, and I'm a little bit surprised. I think that the boob job is terrible. You know, they look like two light posts coming out of a body.
Give her a number, please.
I would say she's an 8.
An 8.
Oh. Yeah, she's an 8. No, I'm talking about in person.
Who is the 10?
If I see a picture of CarmenElectra in the New York Post, right? She's a 10 all the time. She takes great. If I see her in person, she's a solid 8.
Who is a 10 of all time?
A 10 of all time.
Yeah.
The 10 of 10.
I love this guy's opinion. See, he knows this.
I do. I truly know. I mean,
he really does. He thinks about it.
I'd be much more accurate and much more blunt if you and I were having this conversation in the back of a limousine.
I wish
when
you
I
would
pick
be
you up
blunt.
because your frickin' car is lost. Okay.
Yeah, well, thank God for this guy.
No. Then I'd be much more honest. Now I'm trying to be a politician, but it's very hard when you're doing the rating system, right?
He's like my Superman. He rescued me.
Absolutely, swooped in and saved you.
Yeah, but you know what? This is what
there aren't many 10s. You know, a 10 is a rare specimen. You know that, Howard,
Well, you're married to a 10.
Well,
I'm married.
course.
I'll tell you what. I'm married to a woman, and this has nothing to do with anything, but I'm married to a woman who is truly one of the most beautiful women.
Yeah, she is. I've been around her. She's a gorgeous woman.
She's a great beauty. She's considered to be a great beauty.
Yes.
There are some others.
All right, here's a good question. Right now, at this point in history, your ex-wife, Ivana, what is she?
Oh, no.
Well, you can't judge now.
Judge now.
Oh, if I said that, Howard, that'll be such a disaster.
This is the mother
don't forget,
of his children.
she's been going after me for 20 frickin' years.
Yeah, and she'll never stop.
She is going after me.
Let's forget.
If I do a book, she comes out with a book and it fails. If I do something else,
let's forget that we're on the radio. Let's have those conversations we have when we're alone.
See, he's told you Ivana's number.
Well, he's never been a fan of Ivana.
I know.
Ivana was very beautiful.
I don't like her attitude.
You know what I'll say? I don't like her attitude, to be honest with you.
Right.
But Ivana was a very beautiful woman.
Back in the day, great.
She was a very beautiful woman.
What is she?
But
is
now
she
I don't want to. Well, I can't do that. You know why? She's the mother of 3 of my children.
That's
if
right.
TeriHatcher's a 6, as you say, and NicolletteSheridan's a 4.
Here's a way to go, Howard. Is she higher or lower than MarciaCross?
Are you asking me that question?
Yes.
Well, I'd always say higher because she's the mother of my children.
Take away the kids.
I have to. Howard, if I ask you about your ex-wife, is she a 5? Is
She's
she
a 10.
Okay, give me the answer, Howard.
A 10.
Huh?
A 10.
Yeah, that's what I say. I say the same thing.
I'm not as brave as you.
No, I know. So those are very, very difficult scale questions.
All right, now.
But there's nothing like the scale. How amazing is the scale?
Give us the 10 of 10s.
Who is the 10 of 10s? Come on.
Well, wait. I have a friend who I know somebody, and this guy's a very, very rich guy.
Go ahead.
And he said, Donald, you have to do me a favor. I have to meet her. Now, this guy's rich, smart. He kills people for a living with his mind and his mouth, right?
Right.
If he sees a beautiful girl, he gets lockjaw. He can't talk, all right?
Go ahead.
He destroys people.
Who's this guy? What is his name?
Well, he's just... I better not bring up his name, but you don't know. I mean, you don't know. But he's just a regular guy. Right. But anything he can go out with, he'll go out with, and yet he can't talk. He gets lockjaw. He can't talk with women. He goes to the office. He destroys people. He destroys geniuses.
So what's the point?
There is no point. Let's go.
There isn't a point.
What is the 10 of 10's name?
Who's the 10 of 10s? Right now, if you could just be free to have sex with anyone.
Well, you know, okay, I'll tell you, and I've always felt this, and for some reason it's always been this way with me. The most beautiful women aren't the famous women.
Okay, who's the 10 of 10s?
There are very few famous women. For instance, we had a girl named Jennifer, who was Miss Universe last year from Australia.
Forget
who you
that.
probably
Give me
interviewed.
a famous person.
I'll tell you. Do you remember when you had Miss Universe on from Russia?
Yes, beautiful woman. But give me a famous person today that you see that is a 10.
She's at least a 10.
A 10.
I can't think of any. Howard.
Who's a 10 to you?
I'll tell you.
Who's a 10 to me?
There are very few.
No CharlizeTheron.
No, not. By the way, not even close.
Really?
You have to understand. I've seen all of them. Now, I'll tell you. You know, one of my.
What is CharlizeTheron?
I would say a solid 7.
Wow.
All right, how about...
You're rough.
This is a guy who gets a lot of good-looking poop.
No. I own the Miss Universe contest,
right.
Howard.
She's a 7.
I see women...
HalleBerry.
I'll tell you what. I think she's got from the midsection to the shoulders.
Go ahead.
She's a 10.
Right.
The face. Is a solid 8.
He's right.
And the legs are maybe a little bit less than that.
All right.
But I'll tell you what, you know
Pam
what?
Anderson today. Pam Anderson today, not years ago.
She was never a 10,
Well, Pam Anderson's a friend of mine. She's a great person. But Pam Anderson is come on, give me a break.
What is she? What is she right now?
6.
A 6?
Yeah, I think so.
What about AshleyJudd?
Well, Ashley Judd's beautiful in a soft way.
Who cares about her? GwenStefani.
GwenStefani, I like. I mean, she's got great style.
Give me a number.
An 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
ParisHilton?
See, I know Paris for a long time. I think Paris is a 9, actually. A lot of people disagree. I argue about Paris all the time. I think Paris is beautiful, and then people will tell me she's not beautiful at all.
JessicaSimpson.
JessicaSimpson's really cute. I think JessicaSimpson's a good 8 or 9.
All right, that's what I thought, too.
Don't you think?
Yeah, I think you're
But
absolutely
Howard,
right on.
the most beautiful women are not the famous women.
Well, we don't know them.
Well, that's your problem, not
Will
mine.
Dakota Fanning grow up hot?
Oh, my.
Or not?
No.
She will not.
She'll always be cute.
But she'll never be hot.
She'll never be hot.
Are the Olsen-Twins hot at all?
Not now.
Not now.
No, and they never were.
All right, and they never
About
were.
8 or 9.
And they never were.
Well, you
And
guys
they never
are,
will
But
be.
you know what, Howard? Someday, if you go, as an example, the Miss Universe contest, these were, and you see them sometimes, when they go on your show and you destroy them. I mean, what you did to that woman from Russia, I had to fire her.
Yeah,
You know what? I said, Oksana, you're fired. She never recovered.
You know who's a 10? You're going to laugh me out of the box right now.
Who?
The chick who used to be on Star Trek, JoleneBlalock.
Well, that's a long time ago, though.
No, I'm talking
not
about the
the
most
original
recent Star
Star
Trek.
Oh, really?
You check
I don't know
out.
her.
She's hot, man.
I don't know her.
I wonder if you'd agree.
I don't think he'd find her a 10.
yeah.
But it's true. You go out, like I go to the awards the other night, so I've seen everybody right up close. I mean, I was the guy. I was up for the nomination. I had the best seat. I sang. I did it. So I'm backstage with all these people. I've seen every one of them. There were no 10s.
You
No,
didn't say
not
to
a
There
yourself,
were no 10s of the famous people.
you went backstage and you said to yourself, you know what? I'm satisfied with Melania because, you know what? I don't need any of these broads.
Honestly, Melania was the most beautiful person in that auditorium. In the Shrine Auditorium,
You ever done
the
a-
most beautiful. In fact,
You ever been-
Entertainment
you ever-
Tonight said that. They said, this guy, whatever, he said the most beautiful woman. But when
Have you
go
ever been
back-
with a black woman?
Have I what?
Ever been with a black woman?
Go ahead and say yes.
Had to.
Yes.
You have.
Okay, yes.
Did her name
What
rhyme
did-
with Umba?
Did she
Now,
have?
well, you had a famous phone call. Do you remember the phone call you had with AJ?
Yes.
Okay. And, there's a woman named KaraYoung who's a black woman who's a total great person and a beautiful woman.
That's right. You had
And
her.
she was AJ's girlfriend
Right.
for a while.
But she's barely black, right?
She's
Isn't
very-
she mostly white?
No.
No?
I mean, she's black. She considers
Have you ever
herself
made love
black.
to a
She's like
real-
this great person.
Have you ever made love to a full
And by the way,
black woman?
Kara's a 10.
Really?
Oh, yeah, Kara's beautiful.
I always consider myself blacker than her.
You don't
Did you?
even know.
I'm saying, did you ever make love to a full black woman?
Are you going to watch The Apprentice tonight, Howard? Huh?
Yes. Hey, did you hear my? Yeah. In fact, I'll talk to you about that in a second. Did you hear my theory that you were Jewish?
Really? No.
Here's what happened. I was running with two
that was
friends of mine.
funny.
Go ahead.
I was running with Richie Notar from
Right.
Nobu
Right.
and Pat Menachia.
Right.
Pat's running. We're saying, he goes, Trump's Jewish.
Right.
I go, you kidding me? He goes, no, I know it for a fact. I go, you got to be kidding me. Now, I got sucked into this. He goes, first of all, where did Trump grow up? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Queens.
All right, he goes, you know any wasps from Queens named Trump? He goes, and secondly, what's a Trump?
Yeah, I think it was Forest Hills, right?
Right. He goes, you ever heard of, what is Trump? He goes, they made that name up. I said, what are you saying?
changed his name.
He says, yeah, the father changed his name. Donald Trump is Jewish. And it's like one of the best kept secrets. I go, you kidding me? And then Richie goes, you know what? You're right. We're in Forest Hills. Are there any wasps? He goes, so I'm sitting there going, I can't believe, because I could always spot a yid.
Right.
I'm going, this guy's in country clubs. He's fooling everybody.
Well,
He just slipped right under the radar.
And then we did some research and found out you're about the furthest thing from a Jew.
I'm actually, I'm in a very Jewish business, okay?
Right.
But Harry Helmsley and Donald Trump are the only two. And Harry's gone. He met the wonderful Leona. She destroyed him, and that was the end of Harry.
Yeah.
That was called a sad ending. But
Tell
it's
me,
one of those things.
tell me the truth. Don't give me any BS. You and Martha Stewart are having problems?
No, we don't have problems at all.
You don't like her anymore?
No, I like her a lot. Now you're going to ask me
Wouldn't
whether
you
or not she's a 10. Martha, first of all, I did her show yesterday, and her show aired last night. And my show airs tonight, and I've had a great relationship with Martha for a long time, and I chose her. I mean, I chose her to go on The Apprentice with Mark Burnett.
And you get a piece of the action.
Well, you know what happened. I mean, we were thinking about MarkCuban, and then he did a show and he bombed, as you know. He got no ratings. And then we were thinking about RichardBranson.
Right.
And Branson did a show and he drew flies. He had no ratings. So they did like an automatic Nielsen for us. And we were thinking who would be good with The Apprentice, and we chose Martha, and her show aired last night. But you didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
You were too busy watching the airplane landing.
Yes. Did you watch that?
I didn't see it. I hear it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it was petrifying.
How would you like to be in a plane like that? Is that just like the worst?
Oh, my God. I mean,
we were asking, Donald, would you be a crier or a prayer? Which one would you be?
I'd cry. And you know he'd cry, too.
I don't know what I'd be doing. I'll tell you one thing. It wouldn't be pretty.
MarthaStewart, at the end of her show, doesn't say you're fired. She says you don't fit in. I think you don't fit in is crueler than you're fired.
But you don't fit in is sort of a long expression. It's very tough. Every once in a while, an expression comes out, and sometimes it sounds simple. It's very tough to beat you're fired.
One of the broads, I was reading in the tabloids, one of the broads on your new show, the one that premieres tonight on NBC. Listen to this story.
The broad?
Yeah, because I read this in the tabloids.
She's a broad?
There's this chick on there, right? She wants to be The Apprentice.
Yes.
And they list her on The Apprentice. Is this embarrassing to the show to bring this up?
No, not at all.
There's a girl on the show who they list as an owner of salons. That's her background.
I've talked about this girl.
Yeah. And now
her name is Allah.
Yeah, they're saying she now was a stripper, and she found some guy who used to pay to take her out to dinner.
Yeah, I told you this whole story. He used to get lap dances from her.
Right.
She was a stripper.
Right.
And he loved her so much, he started robbing and killing people.
He killed 3 people
for his lap dance.
to pay for lap dances from her. She must be super hot, huh?
Well, she's hot, and she's really smart. She's very, very cunning, very, very smart. She's an amazing character on the show.
Is she a 9?
She's very good looking, and she's like an amazing character. I will say this, though. We have people, this sounds horrible. I mean, this is just terrible. I wasn't happy with show 3. I wasn't happy with it. It did very well in the ratings, but I didn't like it because I didn't pick the cast, and I couldn't pick the cast. I'm building too many. I said, I'm not going to California to pick the cast. Just pick a good cast. They picked the cast. It was picked by some young people that are just forget it. Give me a break. Mm-hmm. And I ended up with 18 people, and I just didn't agree with the cast. To me, it was terrible. So the show goes on, it does well, and I couldn't stand it. And the same thing with 2, but to a much lesser extent. 1 really worked with that crazy Omarosa and everything. It just really worked.
Right.
So it continues to get good ratings, and I say, I don't care. I'm going to go to California this time. So we had over 1 million people apply. I go to California. They break it down into 2,000. Out of the 2,000, I picked 18 people. Okay. Now, some of the girls, and I really mean this, Howard. You got to check it. Because not everybody agrees with me on this. Actually, Mark Burnett said, Donald, this woman is so beautiful that she's not credible. I said, do me a favor, Mark. Let me worry about that. She's too beautiful. There's no such thing as too beautiful, okay?
Right.
I have on that show 2 10s. 2 10s.
2 10s?
I mean 2 10s. And now listen to this.
You're not going to tell us which ones?
I have one girl on the show. I won't even tell you who because I'll let you figure it out. But I have one girl on that show who is one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen.
Well, you're smart because that's what you do. Hey, before I let you out of here.
By the way, he is right that woman is smart because when the guy went really off the deep end, he actually was holding a gun on her at one time, and she talked him out of killing her.
That's right. She saved her own life.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah. This guy did not sound like a very solid citizen. Do you agree?
Did you bring this up on the show? Or
actually, on the show, we find out. We had no idea because she owns spas and everything, But on the show, a lot of things come out at one of the boardrooms. It's amazing. It's an amazing boardroom. So this is the best show we've ever done. Number 4 is the best we've ever done. It's even better than 1.
Hold on 1 second. Someone needs to talk to you. Yes, Eric the Midget. Eric?
Hello? Yes, Eric.
What is it, Eric? This is Eric the Midget.
I just wanted to talk to Mr. Trump because I am interested in getting into the hotel business. And I have some ideas.
I'll allow you 3 seconds with Mr. Trump.
He should be on The Apprentice.
Is Eric running?
Maybe we should put Eric on The Apprentice. He'd be perfect.
Eric, listen to me. There's no time for nonsense. Give Mr. Trump your 2 best ideas.
Give me a hard pitch, Eric.
Okay. The top idea I have is a hotel called the All Sports Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. What this hotel would be able to do if it got built would be to house not only professional sports teams from all the different types of sports,
What about an elf hotel where it's filled with elves?
Why are the sports teams all coming to Las Vegas to stay in a hotel?
Right.
Oh, no, I mean, they'd be able to play their home games there.
What?
What?
But
On
nobody.
their
All right,
on
listen.
their property.
Eric, I will forward a letter to Mr. Trump that you write. Maybe you could do the pitch that way.
Okay.
Eric, thank you, though.
Thank you.
It's a brilliant idea.
What do you think of that? A sports hotel?
For the sports teams to play their home games in.
Right.
Well,
Las
it's
Vegas.
sort of a complicated idea. I'm trying to figure out how many home games do we need in Las Vegas. Right?
Why don't you tell him?
The sports franchises are trying to stay out of Las Vegas, not in Las Vegas.
Why don't you tell him he's fired?
Eric,
How about
are you there, Eric?
Yes.
Eric, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. We're only kidding, Eric. You're not fired.
All right, Eric, give me it in a letter and I'll send it to
You
Mr.
need a
Trump.
job to get fired.
Right. Hold on, Eric.
Jackass.
Let Eric write that in a letter. All right, listen. Good luck with the premiere of The
season,
Apprentice.
Thank you, Howard.
Tonight at 9 o'clock on NBC.
Good.
I'm sure the show will do well. And I'm
But
sure
watch. You have to tell me, and you have to call me when you see the cast. You have to tell me what you think, because you're asking me about ratings all day long, right? Rating women. I'm talking about.
I will
you
tell
have
you.
to call me and tell me what you think of the beauty of some of the women.
I will.
You can't pick all these ratings because that would not really be credible. You can't have all 10s, right?
Things with
You need
Melania.
some super geniuses and everything else, but you have to tell me.
And things with Melania are good.
Excellent.
The sex is still good.
The sex is extraordinary.
3 days a week?
Howard, much more than that.
Really?
Yeah, do you only do 3 days a week?
Sometimes a little more.
Huh?
Sometimes more.
Okay. No, much more.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, Howard.
Wow.
They interviewed Mr. Trump at the Emmys the other night. They said, so, Mr. Trump, what will you be doing after the show? He says, I'm going to go home and make love to Melania.
Nice.
There you go.
All intercourse, not other things.
Well, I'm a very, I'm like the old-fashioned way, like sort of pretty straight stuff.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not into the whole world of craziness.
Let me ask one thing, though, because the thing I don't understand about Donald with his incredible success now, he still does the learning annex.
Well, I do. The man that runs, I'll tell you, it's crazy. It is like semi-embarrassing, but great. You know what happened? He asked me to do the learning annex, and I gave a speech about success and, like a motivational type speech, which I do. And I do it, and I like doing it, and I have fun doing it and everything else. But he asked, we did it last year in New York, and 25,000 people came. They started off with a very big ballroom.
It's a successful
And
thing.
they ended up going to the convention center in New York, the convention center, because that was the only place that could, handle it. So anyway, he did one in Los Angeles. Now, in all fairness, Robin, they paid me so much money that
How much money? How much did they pay you for that? Seriously.
Over $1 million to
You're
make a
kidding me.
speech. Yeah,
Wow.
and you know
Well,
what,
you know
Howard?
what? I would do that too.
Yeah,
Howard,
how
listen.
long do you have to talk?
You can be really rich, but when you can't, walk down to Madison Square Garden to make a speech and pick up $1 million.
There's something wrong with you.
No, you got to sort of think in terms of retirement.
That's right.
Because
Absolutely.
honestly, I did one the other day, a $500,000 speech, and I had to walk 1 block to a hotel.
When
And
you
I'm saying to
start-
myself, I wasn't in the mood to make a speech. I'm saying, why would I turn down a $500,000? You've got to be really
Right.
stupid.
Shame on you if you have even $10 million and you won't walk down the
down
street to
for
make
$1
$1 million.
million.
You just got to do it. So I don't care how rich you are, you have to do it. So
Explain-
now
wait a
he
second.
does one in Los Angeles.
Explain something to me
Go
quickly
ahead.
because we're running out of time.
Go
This is
ahead.
important to me. When you say having that much sex, what does Melania do to keep it fresh? Does she,
I don't know. It's just,
she wear outfits?
if you really like somebody, if you really love somebody, it just sort of works out.
Does she wear outfits to bed, like special outfits?
No, she wears nothing, which is
Nothing.
much better.
Always nude.
Much better.
Wow.
You
Your best estimate, how many years do you have left with Melania? Come on. How many?
Oh, well, it's an infinite number of years.
All right. Listen, everyone watch Donald Trump on the season premiere of The Apprentice tonight at 9 o'clock on NBC. I love when you call in.
Have a good time, Howard.
Take care.
So long, Robin.
Bye-bye.
Easy.